Want to welcome you guys back to another episode of Pistons Talk Podcast presented by Fanduel. I have a very special guest. Welcome back to the podcast, Natalie. Thank you so much for making the time today.
Yes, absolutely. I know it's been a minute. I've been excited though, and this is the best time of year to come on a podcast and talk Pistons and playoffs and all the things. So I'm pumped to be here. Thank you.
Yeah, it's been a wild ride for sure. For sure. It's been very eventful, I would say.
Eventful to say the least over the course of the last few years, obviously, just to
Mhm.
think on the journey that these guys have been on. I feel like I reflect on that a lot, and I think the team does too, just to think we would not even think to be in this position just a couple of years ago. So what a turnaround, and I'm happy to be on the ride. I think we all are. We'll take the roller coaster of emotions any day.
For sure. I do have some questions I do want to ask you. A lot of people want me to ask you, basketball questions, non-basketball questions, learn a little bit about you, but we'll stick with the basketball questions first. So, one of the first questions that they had was, what was your favorite moment this season? If you could pick one.
Ooh, gosh, there was a lot. Let's see. I mean, gosh, this team just had so many positive, fun moments this year. I'm trying to
Mhm.
think most recently. Um, the final home game was fun because for me as a reporter, you know, I get a kick out of interacting with you fans, of course, being around the team and, just getting a sense of how happy they were with, the way the season wrapped up. And for me, getting the post game interview is the best part of my job because I love being the first one to talk to the guys and get the raw emotions and all of that. And all season long, the team had not all come over to me like after an interview. I think of Oklahoma City
Yeah.
and they always bombard their reporter and I'm like, I want that to happen at least one time. Like and see what, clothing items they could put on me or like, be all around it. And I was trying to interview Duncan and then Javante came over and then Jalen Duren came over and then Ron kind of came up behind as well. And I just in that moment I felt personally like, man, just the team chemistry all-time high. All of them were happy and kind of answering for each other. And for me, that was a highlight because it was most recent. But I mean, there's been moments in games where it's like a crazy dunk here or a guy just starting to go off and just feeling himself. I mean, there's so many things I could talk about, but I guess from my perspective, that was pretty cool for me to think, man, we just wrapped up a pretty cool at least home regular season and it's just gonna keep going. So in that moment, I felt really happy.
Like the opposite, what was like the most stressful?
Oh, I mean, gosh, when it comes down to the final, I feel like the Pistons were in so many moments this year.
Mhm.
I don't know if they ended it, on pregame and even postgame. Greg Kelser and I would always talk about the fact that the Pistons led the NBA in the most single-digit wins all
Mhm.
season, and I'm positive they ended the season that way too. If you look at how many games came within like 3 to 5 points, I mean, it
Yeah.
was just crazy. So I I feel like those were all pretty stressful for me because it's like, come on, they shouldn't be in this position. They were up 20. Now they're down to the wire with 25 seconds to go. I feel like I'm thinking in my head of there's been like two different games where Danis Jenkins has really saved the day for these
Yeah.
guys, hitting some clutch free throws. Like there was definitely 2 or 3 games where it came down to he had the ball in his hands, hit the shot to take it to overtime. Like those for me were the most stressful where I'm like waiting to see, oh my God, what's gonna happen here. So there were quite a few of those moments, but Danis Jenkins coming in, saving it all for the guys.
Yeah, that Washington game was nuts. That's like the
Yes.
one that kinda, like, popped in my head where he hit the corner three. I
Oh
even
my
saw
God.
it popped on my TikTok the other day. I saw, like, Grace and the Pistons social team kinda, like, clip their vantage point, like, during that play, and then they're like, "Clip it,
Yes.
clip it, clip it, clip it." I was just like,
Yes.
"Man," like, even, like, the social team was just like, "Oh my god, I can't believe we hit that shot." Like, that's crazy.
I know. I thought they've done shout out admin by the way for the Pistons, all four of them. They're fantastic and I feel like they really captured the ins and outs of what this group was, to give, you know, fans a perspective on just how much these guys enjoy each other, and behind the scenes how funny they are and all the things. But yes, to your point, that Washington game, definitely my heartbeat, if I had checked my Apple Watch, would have been through the roof at that point.
Oh, it was even last year too. Like I was calling them the cardiac kids because like if we had a lead,
Yes,
I knew we were gonna blow it, and it was gonna go down to the wire, and it's gonna be like a one possession game. I was like, man, chest pains. You just took 10 years off my life. Like,
I
like even
know.
Dave. Yeah.
It's like, do you guys like doing this to us? Do you like it's, I mean, God love them, this team, but sometimes they do give you those moments where it's like, come on, we could have buried this one and just took this one home way earlier than it needed to. So anyway, but that's the fun of it, right? And having those moments to think back on. And you know, hey, 60 wins though. They were able to, even with all the craziness, we got to 60 wins and counting. So
Yeah, it's funny. It was a perfect segue because that's actually the next topic I wanted to ask you about
oh,
was
it's
like
like, how did
the
I
six.
know?
I don't know, your brainwaves over here. Are you kind of surprised with the 60 wins? Because I know like before the season started, I saw like Vegas lines at like 44 and a half. And then like we win 60. Like, are you just kind of surprised of the progression from going from 44 to 60?
I am. I think if you ask anyone, even with our broadcast crew, we've talked about it, you know, countless times. 60, if you would have told me this team would have reached 60 wins at the beginning of the season, I would have said, "Are you kidding me?" I mean, I knew we set the bar high last year, already tripling our win total to go from 14 to 44.
Hmm.
So if we were gonna hit 44 or 45 once again, that's, I mean, that's a win, right? Like that's an over 500 season already at that point. But to be at 60, I think is, look, they took playoffs last year and realized how sucky it was to not make it out of the first round. And I think they truly, you can't teach that feeling of like wanting to be back and work harder. Like you just have to experience it. And I think all of them and having their first taste of playoffs last year gave them this juice and this firepower that they were never satisfied. Like even once they passed 44 this year, they're like, yeah, it's cool, but work's not done. They even JB just said that too after their final regular season game. Like, look, we have so much more work to do. The expectations are here, but we're trying to go even further than that. So I am surprised, but at the same time, with how hard these guys work and how mad they get at themselves, even after a win, but it wasn't their best performance, they're still just driven to be better. And it was just really inspiring for me to be around that kind of like motivational talk and just being around them in the locker room. So I'm surprised. I expected them to finish between 45 and 50. So this is for sure beyond, I think, what a lot of people thought.
Kind of just like looking back from last year to this year, what would you kind of say if you could pinpoint like the biggest change from JB's first year to his second year with the guys?
Yeah, I've thought about this question a lot, and I think it is hard to pinpoint one specific thing. I think it's a mix of things. I think last year they finally were able to get the right leadership in place with JB and Trajan, and bringing in the right guys as far as veterans at the time, when you had Tim Hardaway Jr. and Malik Beasley and then Tobias, and then when Dennis Schroeder came in, that was at the perfect moment to help propel them to the playoffs. I think having they finally had some structure and an identity that they wanted to go after, right? And so JB had to get to know these guys his first year and understand how they operate. And he didn't have a guy like Asar Thompson the entire season to work with and understand his strengths. And Jalen Dern was still trying to figure some things out. And I think JB finally having, you know, a full summer, a playoff experience with those specific guys, being able to just understand how each guy can play into the system, I think paid dividends. Because now he understood, okay, here's what we need to do to get Jalen Duren from point A to point B, and he's taken an unbelievable leap. Here we don't have some of these veterans anymore, but now the guys understand it takes some leadership, not just on the court, but vocal leadership as well. And I think guys took steps that way. So I think we saw improvements just in the locker room as far as guys being able to step up and hold each other accountable. I think JB got to know them a lot better and understand how to utilize them. And then I think the other thing, what we talked about just a bit ago, is just having that playoff experience. I think gives you a little something different to add to your resume. Like, they understand the pain of not being able to get past that first round, and you see what they've done to the Knicks this year, and each time they played them, a little BTA. I mean, talk about having motivation. And then if things go the way we want them to go and we play Charlotte in the first round, talk about even more motivation. I mean, so
Oh
that
man.
just gives you something. So I think the combination of those things has changed the team in the best of ways. And you brought in new vets this year that also, have contributed in a positive way. And Cade finally had some help, spacing wise, having another shooter in Duncan Robinson. And so all that, I think there's just a lot of reasons. You could pinpoint a lot of different things, but do you see it the same way, or are there things that you have noticed too that have helped?
I think their first season, they had to actually learn how to win games because they didn't really get to, experience that
Right.
with previous regimes, only winning 14 games. But I
Mm-hmm.
think as like the season kind of went on, they started understanding like how important a possession is, how important it is to win a quarter, how important it is to rotate defensively and communicate. Like they really didn't do that. And like also like changing coaches every year probably was really hard on not only like Jalen Duren, Cade, and Stu. Like you got to think like they went from Dwayne Casey to Monty Williams to JB, and it's the second time where they actually had the same coach. Like they had Dwayne Casey for quite some time, but obviously they were going through a rebuild and they're young kids still trying to figure it out. But I think I give more credit to like JB of just kind of making it like fun. Like Jalen Duren has
Gotcha.
completely come out of his shell. Like he was really like shy and quiet, and I feel like every post game interview, he's like crashing your post game interviews, or like, hey, I'm gonna say something, and then just like walk away. Like I feel
I'm
like
still pissed about that. What did he have to say? It's like, I got to tell the world something. What did he? It was something like that. I got to tell the world something. And I'm like, yeah. It gave me nothing and ran away. I'm like, you can't do that, my guy.
no, I think you just kind of see like the joy, like you see in the locker room, like when they get the belt away, you just see kind of like the connectivity that they have in games. It's real. It almost feels like college atmosphere in a little bit. Like if you play
Y-
college sports in any way, like they're just so connective, and they're like a family.
It really is. And I know it's every good team says just that. We're all brothers, we're like a family, but I've been trying to tell people that even, I mean, last year you felt it, but this year even more. The team chemistry has been off the charts, and it's such a joy to be around and witness, and even the little things like the passing of the belt. I think when that started, it's given the guys an opportunity to, give kudos to someone after the game. They've given it to JB on his birthday, or when he's
Yeah.
hit a milestone in his coaching, or that, they gave it to Kong, the equipment manager, at one point. Like, it gives the guys a chance to celebrate each other and just have some fun with it. And it helped them create their quote that they always say, together all the time together. And it's true. They spend so much time together, and on the road, I can see those guys are going out to eat. They're hanging out, talking in our meal room, which lucky enough, they let us Fanduel people sit with them at breakfast and dinner. And we can go and sit with Cade if we want to and just chat and talk about life, which is awesome. Like, it gives us a chance to build some trust with them too, and just witness a lot of this, just fun lightheartedness. And I think, JB does such a good job at making sure they do that. He wants to see that, just those friendships blossom. And there was one other point I remember this year too. The team, I think it was the start of the West Coast trip and around Christmas, and I think we had just lost to Utah. We started in Utah, and then forget who came after that. Hold on, we had Portland, Utah. It all mumbles together for me, but I want to say it was 2 or 3 straight losses. And JB was like, you know what? We're going to get to LA. The guys think we're going to have a typical shoot around or a practice, but guess what? We're not. And he took them to play soccer. If you remember that. I think an article came out later on about that, but it's like that kind of stuff. He could have been hard on them and said, look, we're going to have an even longer practice today and I'm going to get on you guys. But he was like, they just needed some time to just have fun and laugh. And we won the next we lost against the Clippers, but won against the Lakers. So it was like, sometimes you got to have those moments where you just got to sit back and like step away from the sport a little bit and spend time together. I think that makes a huge difference.
I think it's like also like the human element of it also. Like, I think a lot of people, when they think of like an NBA head coach, they think, it's just practice, 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 watching film. But I think JB does a really good job of actually like caring about the players, and you can honestly see it like in interviews. You can see it just the way like in team huddles, even like the pregame rituals, which is like hilarious to watch them.
Oh
Like,
my gosh, them fighting each other. I'm like, only the Pistons, only the Pistons. But yes, JB is so animated. He is the first one to get on the refs for a bad call or a no call. I mean, I love that from him though. You need that passion. You need to have a coach that you can look at and be like, that guy has my back through anything. And I just love that he gets fired up, and then it fires us up. We're like, yeah, JB, let's go.
Yeah, I mean, like I would say Brooklyn to me has the best acoustics in the NBA when you're watching it.
Okay.
When you're watching a game, because usually like I have to wait until I forget the NBA account that does kind of like the lip reading for like stuff to come out. But in Brooklyn, like you can hear the whole sentence. Like he's like first name, like not Mr. Like, come on, man, that's not a foul. Oh, now you blow your whistle. And then he's like clapping, like congrats. Like, okay.
I know.
He is a dog.
It's the best. He is a certified dog, JB, 100%. That's why he blends right in with this team. It's perfect. And they've adapted to the identity that he has established from the start. They're physical, they're defensive, minded, they're scrappy. And JB is the ringleader of it all.
I feel like this podcast is flowing so well. I'm just going to assume you have my prep sheet. I'm just going to assume it, because like the next segment I wanted to kind of get into was kind of like coach of the year with JB Bickerstaff. So I want to ask you, because I've been seeing like a lot of narratives, like a lot of people are trying to move goalposts. They want to give it to Joe Mazzulla because the Celtics, second seed, 50 plus games. Felt like JB could have won it last year just with the story of tripling their win total. But like, if you had a vote in the media, would you vote for JB Bickerstaff for coach of the year?
Absolutely. And I know that's biased of me because I work for Fanduel, but work with the team. But he should have won it last year. I was shocked that he didn't. It was Kenny Atkinson that did, right?
Yeah.
He won it? Yeah. So, look, when Kenny got to Cleveland, he had a good team to work with. JB comes to Detroit, and yes, he had guys, but he had to figure out how to piece them together. And as you pointed out earlier, had to help teach this group how to win, how to understand the ins and outs. And to triple your win total from 14 to 44 and go to the playoffs for the first time since 2019, but your first playoff win since, hold on, I'm doing the math now, was it 08?
Yeah, you're making me
I
feel
think
old.
so. Okay, it's been a minute, right? What JB was able to do with these guys and get the city of Detroit excited about Pistons basketball again, he should have won it. I didn't understand that, but if he doesn't win it this year, then come on. 60 wins, which we haven't had since the 04 era, I believe, or 05.
I
So
think the flip year, yeah.
yeah, and look, the proof is on the paper, man. Like what this team's been able to do. They've been the 1 seed since November. Um, 60 wins. What they've been able to do combined just the last 2 years. He is the definition of a fantastic coach and a leader that you want to play for. And I love getting to talk to him and pick his brain, and just how he's taken a team from point A to point B is fantastic. He's done a marvelous job, and I think he deserves it. I really do. I mean, you can just see what this team's been able to accomplish and what other teams have learned about the Pistons and how they play. And JB is the head of the snake of it. He's the one that helped establish what they're doing right now and what we're seeing. So you got to give kudos to him, and he deserves his flowers. He really does. That's how I
feel
feel.
like, yeah, I feel like outside of Detroit, like narratives with Detroit all season, where they were just waiting for the Pistons to drop the 1 seed and they never did. And then when they held the 1 seed, like they still don't kind of buy like the process over the past 2 years. Like they're just like I'm like watching Get Up, and I see Adam Schefter, who's like a NFL reporter. He's
Football
like, yeah,
guy. Yeah.
yeah, like insider. He's like, yeah, Charlotte could give the Pistons real problems, and he's just like, they had the biggest point differential in NBA history. I was just like, but they lost all 3 times. They lost by 20, they lost by 6, and they lost by 18. I was like, what are we doing?
Right. What are we doing? I know. You know what? This is the time of year where the talking heads just
Oh yeah.
find things to talk about. And you know what? Detroit versus everybody is such a real thing. It is. It doesn't matter what sport either. People are always going to doubt. And I think that fuels the guys, to be honest with you. Like,
Yeah.
it really does. It fuels me. I know it fuels you too. I mean, anyone that covers this team, it's like, okay, doubt us then. Yes, I know the Celtics didn't have Jason Tatum for most of the year, and now they have him back, and they think Pistons would struggle with Boston. And you look at the whole East, right? Like the Pacers wouldn't be as bad as they are if Tyrese Halliburton was healthy. And you can look at all these different things like, oh, there's, the reason the Pistons have been in first pretty much all season is because of X, Y, and Z. But listen, we've been able to hold our own in a lot of tough situations this year, and this team is really freaking good. And yes, it would be a heck of a series against Boston, and if the Pacers were fully healthy, it would be a great series against them too. But the Pistons have established themselves now. I think it is time for the national media to recognize that. And there are some outlets that do. And I appreciate that when I do turn on a show on ESPN or whatever, and they're hyping up the Pistons. And I think Run It Back on Fanduel always does a great job at hyping up the Pistons too, with Lou Williams and Michelle Beadle and all them. So
Yeah.
I don't know. It's hit or miss, but yeah, there's always gonna be haters that are gonna think that the Pistons they're not gonna make it out of the first round again. Just wait and see. I
Low
think
key,
that's wrong, though.
low key, whoever the admin is over Earn It Back, I think they're a Piston fan, because I remember during the playoff series last year, he was like DMing me like the whole series. He's like, look what I just clipped. He's like, Knicks for clicks. And I was just like, man, you're crazy.
Really? Hey, I'll take it. You know what? Anyone that's on our side, because I feel like they're always talking Pistons, which is awesome. Like, I think I saw something the other day. Someone mentioned on the show Joe Mazzulla should be coach of the year, but then someone was like, no. How about JB Bickerstaff? I'm like, yes, that guy right there. I appreciate that. So I don't know. We'll see. But look, Detroit versus everybody. We need that on shirts during the playoff series. I think we
Yeah.
should.
Did you see that Oklahoma City podcast that tried to like do Oklahoma City Bad Boys, and then that got like taken down?
No, they can't take that from us. You kidding me? I'm glad it did.
Yeah, like I saw it, I was like, man, that's crazy. And then I went to go check on it, and they like deleted it, and like some people from the Pistons organization, they're like, cease and desist.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. I was like, there's no way right now.
That's awesome. Oh my gosh. Well, glad that never came. They would have never let that happen. We would have made
I
sure of it.
Yeah, I know. Like people are tagging Pistons PR like that looks like copyright infringement to me.
Absolutely. Yeah. So, no, I mean, I think this group, it's funny you bring up just the phrase bad boys. I think this group of Pistons, I don't know what we're going to call them yet. I think we haven't really figured that out. We have the dog pound as part of the team, but you have the going to work era, the bad boys era, and these guys
Um,
embody a lot of that bad boys era type of play. So I don't know. I'm curious if anyone's gonna kind of come up with something that fits the
I mean,
team. I don't know. Have you thought about this?
I made a graphic the other day of kind of like outlining like the blueprints from like previous Detroit Pistons teams, and I'm like, are we calling them the Nasty Boys? And I was like, probably not, because I remember a week like Danis had I think it was a game against Philly where like he was
Wait,
like,
that might have been my favorite. Let's go back to question one, a favorite moment of the year. That might have been that press conference.
yeah. So like that was the game against Philly when he just completely outperformed Tyrese Maxey, who that could be a team we actually play in the first round. But he's like, we nasty dogs, we nasty boys. And like that nasty boys audio, I still hear it on TikTok. I still hear it on YouTube. Like I was just like, are we calling them the nasty boys? And I know like I have a group text with like some media members, and they're like, I say I cannot call another man a nasty boy with a straight face. I just can't.
No, no, I can't either. That was such a funny time of the season when that went viral. And I also still see it, pop around here and there on my social media as well. But Danis he's got, talk about a guy that's just got some fire in him. He's not afraid to smack talk anybody. He has earned his way to that standard contract. And I mean, maybe not nasty boys, but nasty dogs, I think maybe could be what we
Yeah,
call them, because that's what he said. He's like, we are nasty dogs, nasty boys. And then he said something about mutts, right? You don't want no mutts in your house or something
it's an
like that. You don't.
that is I swear, like someone's gotta follow him around with the camera because he's gonna say something hilarious. Like,
Oh, I know. I know. He's had a lot of moments like that this year. And then I remember when we were in Cleveland, when he hit, I think it was the second quarter, he hit like 5 threes in one quarter, I believe. And that's when I got him at halftime and he had hit another one, like a buzzer beater to go to
yeah.
halftime. And I was like, Dennis, what the heck is going on with you right now? And he goes, it's a Sunday. It's the Lord's Day. My mama said a prayer for me this morning and it worked, or something like that. Oh, and that went viral. And I still see that pop around here and there too.
Yeah, the Cleveland game where he turned into like prime Steph Curry. I was like, is he gonna miss a
Yeah.
shot? Like, holy crap. Like you got Cavs fans. One of our Cavs guys at Believe, he's like, who the hell is Danish Jenkins? I was like,
I think we all said that at one point, but yeah, just total coming out party for him. It was unbelievable. I mean, especially when, um, let's see, I mean, when we had a lot of injuries like earlier on and he started to just step up in a lot of ways, which obviously earned him the standard contract, but it was awesome to see. So I love his story. Love his story coming from basically, you know, just nothing and working hard and going to 4 different colleges and then the G League and then now what he's been able to do. It's awesome. So hope, I'm really happy to have him as part of the depth of this group for sure.
like low key, like when I post on social media, I swear all the moms and aunts and the families, they're on Facebook. Like I had
Really?
posted it that he got a standard contract. He has probably got the most popularity outside of Kate Cunningham, just like on Facebook. It's crazy. I was just like, oh, I said they got like Danis's mom, his aunt, his cousin. Like he's got a huge family. It's just like wow, like that. I love it. I love to see the support.
Wait, that's amazing. I'll have to go and pay more attention. I feel like Facebook has become, I mean, it is the place for, the adults and the family to look at everything compared to X and Instagram. So I'll have to be on the lookout for the Jenkins family. next
Yeah, I
time you
mean,
post.
like I'll see Isaiah Stewart's mom from time to time. Like we're live on Facebook right now. Like she follows us on Facebook. Like I posted pictures too. She's like, so proud of you, son. I was just like, wow, like that's they got the moms like following us on here. Got the fiancés and the girlfriends following us on Facebook or TikTok. It's like, man, what is going on?
Wait, that's awesome. Oh, a parent I will shout out, Ron Holland's dad. He is all over it on X or Twitter, whatever people want to call it. I love it.
What game? I think it was the Dallas game. I think it was him and it might have been Cade's cousin or Cade's brother. I think your guys' camera is kind of like through the view with them, and they're like literally like dancing and celebrating and like talking smack to Dallas fans because like they're all from Dallas anyways, but they're just having a party
Yes,
over there.
I love it. I know half of the team it feels like is from Dallas. Yeah, Cade, Danis, Marcus Sasser, and Ron. Maybe those four. There might be another, but a lot of
Yeah,
those guys.
yeah, it's honestly kind of crazy when you just kind of think about just like the Dallas connection and like the parents and like stuff like that. It's like I'll just like be going on Facebook. I was like, Isaiah Stewart's mom followed you. Isaiah Stewart's mom wants to send you a message. I was like, what?
Wait, what? What's happening? That's awesome. I haven't had the chance to meet a ton of the parents in person, but I got the chance to sit with Cade's mom and dad when we were on the West Coast trip. Awesome people, amazing people. The whole fam was there. He's got a sister too. The brother and all of the Cunninghams were in attendance for a couple of those games especially when we were in Utah and we had a few off days. That
Hmm.
was really cool. But yeah, there's a lot of supportive, awesome parents. And actually I did meet, let's see, Duncan's mom. She's a gem. Who else have I met? Trying to think. That might be it. Not a ton, because obviously I don't get to really go up into the stands all that much.
Hmm.
But good group of parents and the wives and girlfriends too. They're all super sweet. So yeah, we got a
Yeah,
good crew here in Detroit.
I was dying when Duncan dunked and I got home from the home opener like the last game and like I'm scrolling and then I see Duncan's fiance Caroline and she's like, I've never seen him dunk before. Like she
Wait,
like
she
even
said that?
she said it on his story. I was like, yo, that's hilarious.
I love that. How about the whole bench's reaction to that? And Jarrett Jack like holding everyone back. That's why at halftime I was like, you want to tell me, like, did you expect that from him? And he was like, he might have to get drug tested tomorrow based on how he's playing right now. I'm like, I don't doubt it.
Oh, the comment section on that, like Javante Green, he's like, yeah, he might have to get drug tested. It's like, I don't want to get drug tested. I hope I don't get drug tested. I was like, dude, shut
Yeah.
up.
That's what I mean. These guys are hilarious. But
Oh, they really are.
yeah, those are the moments though, like that just will live rent free in my head, and
Oh,
just the excitement from the bench, the support for each other when you see a guy go out and do something he doesn't normally do. So, yeah, Duncan's probably the best interviewer. Like when I get to talk to him, he's always got some sort of quote, something funny or witty.
he
I've told
quotes
him
a lot
that
of
too.
movies. Quotes a lot of movies.
Yes, he does. Yes, he does. That must be like one of his big hobbies in his free time. He must be a big movie guy.
Yeah,
I'll have to
there
find
was
that out. My reporting hat. I gotta put that on and go figure that out.
I'm trying to think what movie he quoted because he said I couldn't guard my shadow or I couldn't hit a shot out of water. I was like, that's from a movie. I just don't remember what movie it was from.
Yeah, he did say that because he was on it was a long slump for him
Yeah.
where he hadn't hit a three and for a minute. And then in one game he had, five or something like that. And he was like, well, yeah, the last few, I haven't been able to guard yeah, whatever he said. Haven't been able to guard my own shadow or yeah, I
Uh,
can't remember, but exactly what you just said.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure I probably have that interview somewhere. I mean, I still have like all of them saved for the year. It's just like
Yeah.
it's insane. I did want to kind of get into one of our segments presented by Fanduel with the NBA playoffs coming up. Now, in the event that the Pistons do make the Eastern Conference Finals, they have Cade Cunningham at a plus 550, and they have Jalen Duren at a plus 4,500. I want to say one thing. If we get Pistons Celtics in the first round, Natalie, that plus 4,500 feels like free money. Because who's guarding Jalen Duren on the Celtics?
Exactly. Exactly. I mean, that's their problem, right? Like ever since Porzingis left, I think they've had a struggle, down low. I mean, they have Kada, right? Isn't that
Mm,
their big man
yeah,
now?
and Luka
So,
Garza.
and yeah, former Piston Luka Garza. Come on now. Yeah, I mean, Jalen Duren, if anything, I see him winning most improved this year. That's for sure. I mean, look at the numbers. He's averaged, is it 8 more points a game this year? Something like that.
I think he
Made
went
a
to
huge jump.
10 to 19 or 11 to 19, like something
Yeah,
insane.
something insane. So, yeah, I mean, listen, I think Cade should be bumped a little bit higher. If
Me
you
too.
ask me. Come on.
Yeah.
Jaylen Brown at 420 with Jason Tatum also at 420. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, if you get Boston, like if Boston and Detroit are the final two teams, which a lot of people think that's going to be the Eastern Conference Finals.
Yeah, I do too. That's my prediction, but I
I,
don't know.
like Jalen Duren at plus 4,500, I would be exposing that matchup every possession. Like I'll just tell JD to self-create and just they're gonna follow you anyways. You might as well get to the line. Like
Yeah,
just kind of take advantage of it. Like I saw those odds. I was like, that seems kind of like high for Jalen Duren. I thought he would at least be like a plus 1,000.
for sure. I know looking at the rest of this, 4,500 seems very, very, well, might as well make your bets now.
I already did,
If
but
the odds are still here.
oh, I did the over on the win totals. That I think that cashed out like in February or January when they won. I was like, yeah, like 44 and a half. I'm like, come on, what are we doing? Like, what are we
Yeah.
doing?
Okay, good for you then. That's
I was
good.
just, I was like, there's just no way. Like some of the like awards, like you get them like early on in like August, and you see it. It's just like rookie of the year. Like they had basically had like Cooper like at a negative like 1,500, and then like Khan might win it. But we'll see. We'll see. It'll be interesting.
It will be interesting. I know. Speaking of Khan, he didn't have a great night last night, but that was a crazy game. Oh my God. Did you stay up to the end?
So, first time I've watched basketball with my mom since she kind of got sick, but she first game she was like locked in. Second game, Portland and Phoenix play so fast. She's like, "Are we watching the same game? I can't keep up. My eyes are dizzy. I got to go get eye drops because they were just playing so damn fast." I was like, "No, they
Yeah.
just play like chaotic and out of control." I did stay up. Insane, insane.
Wild. Wild. I still can't believe that LaMelo Ball got away with that with Bam.
Uh, I mean, the Twitter police, they found another incident of him trying to trip Bam. So, I mean, I don't know if he gets suspended for a game. I don't know if he might get a fine, but I mean, Eric Spoelstra didn't think it was a play that was like worthy of like him staying in the game. But I mean, I've actually never heard like Eric Spoelstra actually be like that emotional after like a play like that. But I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, it's kind of crazy, but I mean, we can kind of segue into the playoffs because that actually is my next topic. Like, I swear, she's got my prep sheet, you guys. Like, I don't.
Somehow, some way, guys, we're on the same wavelength here.
She's got my damn prep sheet. I swear. So it's kind of like first round predictions. So obviously, Charlotte, won their play-in tournament. You got Philly and Orlando tonight. So I mean, what are you kind of thinking? Who could possibly play the Pistons?
Well, let's see. With Philly, well, let's see. With that matchup specifically with Philly and Orlando, Joel Embiid's ruled out, correct?
Yeah,
Which,
appendicitis.
come on. So, all the pressure is on Tyrese Maxey to carry these guys and deliver, which, he's great. He has the ability to do that. But I think Orlando has the better chance because now you got Franz Wagner back after missing like nearly 50 games. I think they've been able to, string some wins together to close the season. So I think he should be able to help Orlando. I think the Magic probably have that one. That's just my prediction. Do you see it the same way?
I think when I look at Philly, they're pretty easy to kind of game plan for. Like, you have to worry about Tyrese Maxey and Paul George, and everyone else, you're just kind of like, if Kelly Oubre goes off in the game, like, maybe he just has a magnet ball game. But
Mm-hmm.
Orlando, to me, they're so hard to kind of just like predict because like they're not the same defensive team. They went all offensive. They traded half of their draft capital for Desmond Bain, but
Correct.
um their front court, with Franz and Paulo, I think they can beat Philly, but I don't know if they can beat Charlotte because I think Charlotte would present a lot of problems for them because they're not a good team in just transition. They're a good half court defensive team, and I mean we just saw them before the end of the season. I mean they were getting a ton of steals, just being disruptive, but it would kind of be poetic if JB Bickerstaff got to play his best friend Jamal Mosley and sent him home again.
I his bestie. That's right. I know. It's so funny whenever we play the Magic, just watching those two like give each
Yeah.
other looks from across, half court. And it's just like they're besties outside of this, but right now it's all game time. So yeah, I don't know. I don't believe the Magic. They've been, to your point, unpredictable and pretty up and down this season. We know Paulo's not happy being there, and it doesn't feel like it's the same Magic team that we've seen, even just from last year. But yeah, I don't think they'd be able to handle a Charlotte kind of team either. They're too good offensively. I think, I mean, we didn't see it last night, but Con Knipple is a great, great player. And I think, I mean, you give credit where credit's due, LaMelo as well. And, I think that, listen, as a Pistons media member, but also as a fan, I want that matchup for round one. I think I want Pistons Hornets. I do. Look, I think when you have that extra sense of, I really want to kick these guys' butts and make sure they're sent home. Like, sure, give them all the happiness last night and the glory against why am I drawing a blank? Who we just played last night? The Heat.
Yeah.
But I just look, the way the Pistons ended this last game with them not shaking hands, like just obviously the brawl that happened in February. Like there's just so many added layers to that rivalry now that you can't help but think that would be the most entertaining first round matchup the Pistons could have. So I
Oh,
do believe that the Pistons will be playing Charlotte. That's my prediction. That's what I want.
yeah, I think Pistons Charlotte. I think the script writers want it too. I think like all these broadcast partners probably want it. They don't want like Pistons Philly because it'd be like a really boring series. Pistons Charlotte, I think, has so many storylines. I mean, I remember when Jeff Teague and his podcast came up in Detroit, they were sitting courtside. And like they actually talked about it on their podcast of like how bad the Pistons beat them when Charlotte, I think they only had 9 wins that year. And then the second game before All-Star break, like the Pistons were beating them pretty single-handedly. And then the brawl kind of breaks out, obviously. And then even the last game we played them, like Brandon Miller tried to start stuff with Duncan. And I don't know if you caught that podcast. Duncan's like, if there's a fight next time, I'm going to square up. Like, I'm going to
Yeah.
fight.
Oh, I made sure to I think that's hilarious because Duncan got so much crap for just being like and then just walks away. But look, he was I don't know. Come it's Duncan. Like he's not the guy that you expect to go in there and beat
Fight. Yeah.
beat someone up. So, but I thought it was cool that he came out and said, "Look, I'm gonna do my part next time. Don't worry. I know that looked bad." So I don't know. There's just the drama continues to stir with these guys, and to your point, we just saw it in this last game with them, and it just I think you need a little of that. I think that makes a playoff matchup just that much more intense.
Yeah, I just hope it's not like the second game where like people get ejected. Like I'm all good for like physicality, but like
Just keep Stu back. Hold him back. Make sure you have two people holding them at all times. God love
so
him though.
he is the nicest guy. Like if you're just talking to him, he is like probably the nicest guy like ever. but when when the ball goes up in the air, he just flips a switch, and it's just like attack mode.
Yeah, he's able to just like turn it on like this. And I've told him, I'm like, you just have this way of turning into like a demon when you get on the hardwood. Because in the locker room, he's so soft spoken like this. Hey Nat, how's it going? I mean, sometimes you can hear in our interviews, he's very chill. And he's a giant teddy bear, but he is the first one that will run after somebody, obviously, with full ice packs on the legs and ready to go at any moment. And I was sitting right there behind in Charlotte where my seat is in our like the visitors tunnel, but our bench
Mhm.
is like right there. So I could see him kind of getting ready to go. I'm like, please don't do this. Please don't do this. And then obviously, you know what happened after that. But
Yeah. I mean, I love that he's defending Jalen Duren, like, it's kind of like his little brother. It's so funny
correct.
because you said Stu, and it made me think of, like, when him and Bobby Portis got into it, and
That's another one.
you had a post-game interview, which I was just like, "Oh, this one was my favorite because it's just like they're playing zone. It's not hard. Like, they're playing zone defense. Like, we're just gonna break the zone," and, like, that thing popped off on social media.
I know. I think it was, yeah, I just asked a simple question. It was at halftime too. I was like, how are you guys trying to attack, Milwaukee's zone? And he was like, it's not hard. It's not hard. We gotta find this. We gotta go find this and replay it. But just his answer, I was like, God, this is about to pop off. I know it is. He
I've
just
never
doesn't care.
seen him that animated because, like, usually, like, an interview is just like, "Oh, yeah," he's like, "We're just trying to play Pistons basketball," but, like, that one, like, it was pretty fiery. I was like, "Oh, like, him and Bobby Portis don't like each other, like, at all." Like,
Yes. Do you remember our fans getting into it with Bobby too? The hot mic?
um, was it I think his name is Aaron. He's at every Pistons game. He's right
Okay.
behind, he always wears, like, kinda like Scooby-Doo shirts or,
Yep.
like,
Yep.
fanny
Yep.
packs. Yeah, he had tagged me. He's like, "Yeah," he's just like, "I told Bobby that he's not crap," and, like, he, like, yelled at me, and, like, even, like, the officials like, "Dude, like, shut up."
I know. It's like, come on, there's a time and a place. Don't get yourself kicked out. But I know exactly who you're talking about.
Yeah, it's so funny, like, I was talking to somebody, and they're like, "Are we gonna start the 'That's my man' during the playoffs?" I was like, Don't do that."
No.
That would be
Yeah.
hilarious, though.
There's
It's
been there's been some good moments this year, funny moments like that
I mean, there's been a
just
lot. There's been a ton. Kinda sticking with the playoffs, like, if you had to pick one player on the team, who's gonna be your playoff riser?
ooh, what a good question. Playoff riser. Mm, this is a really good question. All right, I'll take out, I guess, the obvious guys. Well, maybe not. I mean, you expect Cade obviously to be Cade, but I think Jalen Duren's just going to continue to take things to another level because we saw it even with Cade out with the collapsed lung. It's like, look, we need someone to step up in his spot and be, the primary scorer for now, which we saw different guys step up in those roles. But, between Kevin Herter at some points and Danis and, Duncan when he would have a great game. But I think Jalen Duren has consistently been like, look, I got you guys. Like I'll try and give you 20 a night at least. And I think he's going to be the one that's really, going to show out because I think we've seen on a lot of these winning teams, you need two guys that consistently can give you, you know, 20 to or 25 plus a night. And we've seen Jalen Duren's been able to do that. He's had multiple, I think we said it was his eighth or ninth 30-point game of his
Yeah.
career, and seven of them have come this year. So I think he's going to be able to turn it up a notch and help Kate out throughout this. But I feel like I'll give a bench answer as well. Um, I think Ron Holland is going to have a really good,
Yeah.
presence for this group throughout the playoffs because he's got a little fire under him too, as we've seen. Like they've had to hold him back. I'm still picturing the meme of like, who was he trying to fight against Utah last year? Do you remember? I think it was Utah.
Jordan Clarkson. He was
Yeah.
trying to square up during his rookie year because like I believe the play was like they bumped Paul Reed and like Paul's supposed to be like a vet in that instance and like Ron's trying to square up as like a rookie.
Yeah. I mean, I think Ron, he leads the NBA in loose balls recovered, I want
Yeah.
to say. Or I guess this team, or maybe it's just the team that does. But Ron's up there. I don't
Yeah,
have
him
all
and
the stats in front
Javante.
of me.
I think him and Javante are like top 5 in steals off the bench together, which is
Yep.
insane.
He's another one hidden weapon that comes out there and he's a spark plug. Paul Reed. I mean, I just want to say the bench as a whole is this team's best weapon. The depth of this group, anyone could check in and they're going to give you all they have and can change the game. You need someone that can start nailing threes, put in Marcus Sasser. You need someone that's like your scrappy go-to guy for, on the defensive end, it could be Javante or Ron, as we just said. I just love that each guy knows their role.
Mhm.
And I think we're going to see the team just step up to a whole other level. I really do. I just have this feeling. I'm really excited. I just need Sunday to get here right now.
Right. I have actually 2 different players. So I have
Okay.
Duncan for me
Okay.
to be a playoff riser because I was looking at his numbers. So his numbers are very similar to his bubble run when he went absolutely berserk, where
Yeah.
he hit over 200 threes this year. I think he hit 220.
Yep.
Shooting over 40% from 3. Last time he did that was during the bubble run. And like the last 10 games of the season, he was shooting, I believe, like anywhere from 43 to 45% from 3. Like he was just an absolute flamethrower. Something about the playoffs, like he just goes crazy for whatever reason. I think he could definitely be a playoff riser. And then a bench guy I have for you will be different. I think Kevin Herter also is going to have a really good playoffs. I mean, I
Okay.
remember his playoff in Sacramento when they were calling him Red Velvet out there.
Best nickname, by the way.
Yeah,
Love it.
yeah. That for sure. It's a top tier nickname. I know some people in the chat. It's like we should call him Murder Herder. I was like, I don't know about that.
Oh, I haven't heard that one. Yeah,
Yeah,
probably not, but
but I think both of those guys could definitely be playoff risers. Would not surprise me with Ron because his 3-point ball at the end of the season started looking a lot better.
Finally, right?
Yeah. So I mean, I feel like there's a lot of people like obviously like Cade and Duran to me, I feel like are like number 1 and number 2 options. But I mean, it could be a guy like maybe Tolu Smith gets his number called and just crashing the
Right.
glass. Like the depth is insane. Like you mentioned.
Yeah. I mean, it's up and down. Like, it amazes me that it could be a different guy every night. It's not just the same few. Like, each guy has had a game this year where it's been their moment. And speaking of more guys on the bench, how about Paul Reed? 100% from the field. What? What are we doing? That's crazy. B-Ball Paul. I love it. He could be a riser as well.
I
He's
feel
shown that all year.
I feel like that went so unnoticed by fans during the game because
Yes.
it was just such a chaotic like end of the season game because like that Pacers game, like that two-way player decides I'm just gonna like try to take Stu out like for like no reason. I'm just gonna punch him in the back of the neck. I'm like, bro, what are we doing?
Isn't that when George was like, whoever this backup center is or something? Didn't George make a comment?
Oh, he emptied his clip this year. Trust me.
No, he he decided to just let it loose, let go. And that's why you love him. That's why he's a legend. And then you'd look at
Oh,
Special K and he'd be like, George.
probably the Washington one was the funniest one.
Oh,
Bob Carrington dunked, and then he was kind of hanging on Duncan, and then they reviewed it to see if it was like a flagrant foul or whatever because he pushed him down. And George goes, "I don't know why they're laughing. They've lost a bunch of games. They're losers." I was like, "Holy
yeah.
crap!"
It was like, if I've lost as many games as them, I wouldn't be laughing. Something like
Oh,
that. I'm like, oh my
oh,
gosh.
even last year, like him and Greg didn't like how much Tyrese Halliburton was talking.
That's
He's
what I
like,
was just gonna say.
It's like, does this guy ever shut up?
George never change, my guy. We live for those moments when he just decides to razz other teams because he
Yeah.
can. 50 years with this, with the same organization. Come on now, he can do it.
Hope he gets the opportunity to tie the record next year for sure. That'd be really cool.
Yeah, which is 51.
Yeah.
Yep. Want to say it's with the Phoenix Suns former announcer. I want to say is who he's trying to.
I thought it was Phoenix or Portland. I can't remember. Maybe
Okay.
Portland. I'm not sure. I know I looked it up because I think I was talking with Eric, Vincent, and Sean because we have like a group chat, like a private group chat that we talk. I was like, what's the record again? Like, I think 51, I believe.
Yep.
That's just like, man, that's like, I'll take this, George, because like I know he's just gonna rib somebody. He's gonna just say something like just like I'm just like minding my like the Philly game. He's just like they're doing the starting lineups and they're like, yeah, they call him street clothes Joel Embiid. I was like, oh my.
That's another one. I said, George, what are we? But I can't help but laugh, guys, when it happens.
No, like it's like a fan, and you're just hearing that him just like rip other teams, like low key. I know he doesn't like Philly.
Like, no,
Philly.
You can, yeah. I feel like you can tell which teams rub him the wrong way a little bit.
Something happened in Philly, and I don't know what happened.
It's hilarious. Oh, God love them. Love our crew. We have such a good crew. I feel really lucky to work with, obviously, a legend like George, Greg as well, Johnny and Grant, and Dwayne being on our pregame show all the time. And it's been so much fun having them, having those guys to work with. And we all love this team and just love being able to be a part of it.
Yeah, I met Dwayne one time. He damn near broke my hand trying to shake it.
Really?
He is. I don't think people realize how strong he is.
Interesting. I guess I've never really thought about that. I've been around him obviously a lot, but
yeah, we like one of my former employers. We had him in for a sit down interview, and we met with him, and he shook my hand, and he damn near broke it. I was like, "Damn,
Dwayne,
man,
what are we doing?"
Like such a good guy. Like I love that he's still with the Pistons organization because like there was like rumors like he might actually take like a front office gig from Toronto. I was like, oh damn, like that'd be something.
I know, but I think he really loves it here. His whole his family's here now, and in their school systems, and I think he just really enjoys being a part of it. When I do get to talk to him one-on-one, he's just enjoying life. I've asked him if he misses coaching, and he goes, "Of course, you always kind of feel like, oh, I could get back out there." But I think he really likes his role being kind of like a higher up scout in a way. They send him to go and scout different teams and players sometimes, and he's obviously in an advisor type of role here in Detroit, and same with JB's dad, Bernie Bickerstaff. We haven't had the chance to have him on a show or anything, but hopefully next year that would be pretty cool to get him to be a part of maybe one of our pregame shows. But he's in that kind of advisor type of role as well. And I think it's just great to have people like that, coaches that know the game so well, are, just guys that you appreciate their advice and their guidance. And Dwayne is totally one of them that he's so funny too, right? Like he's got a good personality. You've seen him on our shows. He's always got something to say.
He's got a lot of I know Johnny always calls it Caseyisms. Like he'll just like hit you with like a quote and you're like, what?
Right. What was that? But it actually makes sense if you think about it. Yeah.
Just gotta break it down. I was like, did you make your bed in the morning? I was like, I think so. He's like,
yeah.
That was like I don't know if you remember like during the rebuild, like I guess that was like one of the questions they were asking, like draft picks, like, do you make your bed in the morning? And they're like, what?
That's so funny. It just doesn't make sense, but it's like it does because it's Dwayne, and you just got to think about it for a minute. But yeah, that's a Caseyism for sure. Or what do we call it? You know what time it is? What Grant and Johnny always say? It's
Casey's
Coach.
Corner.
Yeah.
You could tell he like shook his head. He was like, "We're not calling it that."
But they did all season.
Oh yeah, it was honestly like really. Anytime he was on, it was like it was just a treat. I mean, like a lot of like the like I'll be doing like I was like, oh, Pistons play at 7. I got to catch the pregame because you never know. Probably my favorite. 3-1-3 day, and like you probably know where I'm going. Johnny manhandled a glizzy. I've never seen someone manhandle a hot dog like that in my life.
Me neither. Me neither. First for everything. I said, why was that the approach? Why did we go that route? I tried to hand you a plate properly. Grant didn't touch anything, which is another problem. I'm like, dude, have some fun. Have a bite of the pizza, something. I went and made sure I got it all nice and set up from the the Pistons meal room and all the things, but whatever. And then Johnny just decides to. I have no words. I have no comment really on that. I just kind of look at him and yeah.
Yeah, I was like, I like the 3-1-3 day was probably like one of my just favorite because there's so many interviews. It was just like, oh my god, like they're going all out for it. Like it was crazy.
Yeah, we tried to do a lot, like certain days, certain games. Obviously the home finale too. We had a lot, going on, and those are always fun days for me too because I'm busy the entire time running around and
Mhm.
prepping for the in-game interviews as well and all the things. But yeah, 3-1-3 day is always a good time because the fans show out. The Pistons do a good job at decorating the concourse and just everything that they have. And I remember for pregame, I had two, Detroit fans on with me, which was really fun. It's just cool to hear different people's perspectives on like where their fandom started and, why they love Detroit and all the things. So those are the kind of days that I think I appreciate because I actually get to like talk with you guys and, see a lot of the media members up in the concourse too. And when I got to see you and Sean and Eric Vincent, shout out. So yeah, that was a memorable game for sure.
I know people in the comments on YouTube right now said that the kids' day was their favorite when the kids got to interview and do stuff like that as well.
Oh, that's always a good one. Trying to think. This year the girl was a little bit shy, so it's hard to get answers out of her, but I'll never forget the one that we had with trying to think. It was with Asar a year ago, and she was like, "Do you like corn?" And he's like, "Yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess." And she's like, "That's my favorite vegetable." And she was just asking him the most out of pocket random questions. And I was like, now this girl is the kind that we need for those interviews. So
I
we'll
feel like that's up a Sar's alley though.
yeah, it is. Talk about a guy that's had some
Somewhat.
memorable interviews this year.
I feel like every time, like the weight room one, when they were about to play Houston in Detroit, he's just like, I'm gonna take men to the weight room. I weigh more than them, and then men's like, you don't weigh more than me. Like, what are you saying? Like, I weigh more.
They're always trying to get on each other. That sibling rivalry is hilarious. But yeah, he's definitely come out of his shell a little bit more too. He's more of a reserved guy and just a little more shy. But he has his moments where it's like, what'd you just say?
He's like, I'm just about to get this off right now. Like, I'm just about to give you like some good content. I had like a Instagram memory. I think it was like one of the first times that he just got drafted. Him and Sass were at a Tigers game, and you
Oh,
interviewed him
yes, I did.
when you guys were Bally, and he said, "Yeah, we're gonna win by 40." I was like, "Okay."
You know
Like,
what? You're right. He just says, I'm like, well, I don't know if that's gonna happen, but you want to beat your brother is what you're getting at. So
yeah,
I remember he looked so young. I feel like I rewatched that the other day. It was on an old reel of mine. And Sasser looked really young too. It was just funny to see just these guys and now how they've grown up here and just the whole journey. It's crazy. But yeah, I want to say, did we lose that summer league game against the Rockets? Or did we end up winning? I
you
can't
know
remember.
what? I felt like we lost, but I could be wrong. Because I know we were winning. Because
Because I want to say, I think at the time I was like, man, Asar really jinxed that.
yeah, I want to make it out to a summer league this summer because it looks so much fun. It looks like a huge party.
Yeah, I've never been. They've never had our crew out there just because we don't broadcast the games. So, but hopefully one of these years that'll change.
I know like everyone was excited because you guys simulcast with NBA TV, so they thought like George and Greg were gonna be calling the games. I was like, I don't know about that, you guys.
I know. That would have been cool. But yeah, hopefully we'll see what happens now that, FanDuel is going away and we don't know exactly the plans for our broadcast crew or anything yet, but from what we've heard, I think all signs are pointing to the crew is sticking together. Whatever comes next, we'll have a different name.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of like stuff that you read. Obviously, like, I didn't know for sure because like you read the sports business journal of like what they hear, and it's just like,
Yeah,
I mean, it like I said, it sucks that it happened, but I mean, as long as the crew stays together, I think a lot of Pistons fans will be extremely happy because you guys do a hell of a job all season long, and it's a grind too. Like I don't think people realize like how much work finding topics for pregame shows, finding storylines for fans to try to like get engaged with it. I mean, it could just be like a simple storyline that fans just see it, hear it, and they're like, wow, like that's actually really cool.
yeah, 100%. I mean, you hit the nail on the head. It is not just going on TV and talking. And, I mean, that part of it is, yes, you're going on TV and that's a cool part of the job, but there is a lot of work that goes into this. At least from my perspective, I'll speak on myself. The amount of time I'm trying to research and get my storylines together, and I have to pitch them to my producer. And sometimes I'm like, hey, I want to put a graphic with this, or I want to add some footage to this. And it's like obtaining that stuff, and, attending shoot around, getting quotes, and talking to the guys, and trying to just put things together because you're right. Every single game, there isn't going to be some huge, great storyline or oh, what do we talk about on pregame today? Like, it's kind of been the same thing the last few games. Like, how do we make it different or entertaining for the fans? There's a lot that goes into it, and there's a whole team behind it, that work with me at FanDuel to make it what it is. And, we try to make it as entertaining as possible for you guys and give you stuff that, you wouldn't know unless you heard it from us. And that makes it kind of fun. It's really rewarding when that stuff pays off. And you do such a great job, dude, at getting all of it out there and tweeting it and posting it everywhere. Like that helps us, pay off our stories even more because more of an audience gets to see it. So yeah, it's a
Yeah.
blast being able to do all that for you guys.
Like I said, I don't honestly mind posting it because I'm watching the game anyway. So like, why not? Like, why
Right.
not just post an interview? Like, I still remember you had an interview that went viral, a Dennis Schroeder interview. It got like 3 million views. Like, I was like, what? Why?
Wait, I'm trying to remember which one.
They had
Hmm.
it was last year. They had just beaten Cleveland, and I threw it in, I believe, our Twitter group that we have,
Okay.
and it just went viral. I was like, "Why does it have 3 million views?" Like all of a sudden, like it just popped off one day. I was like, "Wow, that's wild."
Yeah. I guess that's the funny thing about the internet is you just don't know which things people are gonna resonate with. Things will just continue to get shared and liked and just passed on. And it's like, wow, yeah, now we are at 3 million views. How the heck did it get here? So the fact that I don't even really remember what interview that was with him might tell you that might have been just a random one, or it was just a really good win against Cleveland then at the time. I'm trying to
Yeah,
remember.
he almost had a triple double. It
Okay.
was it was without Kate. I think that was the game where Stu broke Evan Mobley's ankles really bad, and the bench lost it.
Ah, okay. That's a memorable one then.
Yeah, I mean,
That's
NBA
awesome.
posted it before the season. They're like, "I didn't know Stu could move like that." Like,
Stu can do a lot.
yep,
We've
sings.
seen. Yeah. No, that's hilarious. But yeah, no, it's been a blast seriously all season long. I don't want it to end. I'm so sad that we don't have playoff coverage. I really
Yeah,
am. At least the first round, I'm really happy that Mike Breen went on,
yeah,
the other day and said, look, this is the first year. It's sad that local broadcast won't have anything to do with the postseason, and I wish it was different, but nothing we can do. So
yeah. I mean, it's actually more expensive for the consumer. I have Amazon because I have an Amazon problem, so I get Prime anyways. So I'm cool there.
Yeah,
But
hell yeah.
I gotta buy Peacock, which was like great. I'm probably gonna just mute it because nothing against their play-by-play announcers, but the analyst is just like really bad. Like it's like I just
Yeah,
rather not listen. But
just
I
every
mean,
network's trying new stuff. It's crazy. I mean, I really like the way Prime does their broadcasts. I really appreciate their crew in studio. I like the crew that they have at the games. Yeah, NBC, I know they're trying to figure it out too with something new this year. And so
yeah,
I don't know. Feels like everyone's got their own network now. It's
yeah,
wild.
it's honestly insane. But Prime has got to stop crashing out when there's like 20 seconds left in the game.
I thought it was my TV going out, and I'm like,
Me
no, of
too.
course this happens. There's storms coming in tonight. Like, this would happen to me. But then I immediately went on Twitter and I typed in Amazon Prime and looked at like all the latest tweets, and people were like, are you joking? Why would you do this? It's crashing out, this and that. Like, oh man. And then the technical difficulties thing came up on the screen, and I understood it wasn't just me, but
I was
that was
like,
bad.
it happened in another Prime game we had. Like they were interviewing Cade for a post game interview, and it just cut. It's like, sorry, technical difficulties. I was like, come on, what the
I
hell? But I
know.
mean,
I know.
it's crazy. So I actually asked people on Instagram and in our Facebook groups to ask you questions. Do you have time for a few?
Sure.
Okay, so do you want to do basketball questions first or non-basketball questions?
Uh, we can start with basketball and then end with
Okay.
some other, yeah, the personal ones or whatnot.
Okay, so CC in her Facebook group, she actually has two questions. Who's the goofiest player on the team versus the most serious?
Ooh, who's the goofiest? Paul Reed is the goofiest, hands down. That guy from saying in the one, social media video that he's bought a Birkin. Do you remember that? And the other guys were like, "What are you talking about?" No, he's always goofy though. When I overhear his comments and even in my interviews, he just the way he talks and what he says, and he's always just got something to say. And in the locker room, he sits in between Danis and Javante, and those three together are like the three amigos, man. They're always cracking jokes. And sometimes as I'm trying to get an interview with someone else, I turn around and I'm like, did you just say that, D-ball? And he's like, yeah, what's up? He's always just got something. So he's the goofiest. I would say the most serious would be, ooh, um, honestly, Asar, he's always at his locker on his phone watching film. Like he's
Mhm.
just always locked in. He has his fun moments, but he takes the game very seriously. And I think that's a huge reason he also is as great as he is.
I think we
Him.
lost. Oh, thought we lost
Oh,
you for a second.
oh, you still got me?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I would say AT is probably the more serious one.
Yeah. I mean, I remember Hunter Patterson. He told me that because like it was like his first year, and he's like, man, this kid is like watching highlights, and the game just ended of like his mistakes, like how serious he is. I was like, yeah, it does not surprise me. I'm like, if you watched OTE, like both of him and his brother were like very serious about the game, like just their mind for the game. I don't know if you've ever seen it's an old NBA reel, and they knew who got drafted in their entire draft class. Like everybody.
Just like Amon Ra, when he knew
Yeah.
every single wide receiver drafted before him, that's what it reminds me of. But that doesn't
Yeah.
shock me at all with Asar or Amen. They're both just wired that way. So they're just very serious. But I can appreciate that. They're not about all the funny business. Once in a while they let loose. But yeah, those would be my two answers. Locking those in.
Okay. The second question CC had, which I thought was a really great one. If you could choose one player to do your job for one night, who would it be and why?
Ooh. Who would be a good journalist? Hold on, I'm going around the locker room now. I'm trying to envision. I think Duncan's just got a good head on his
Yeah.
shoulders. I think because he's so witty with me with his answers, I think he'd come up with great questions. I think Duncan would be a heck of a sports broadcaster, to be honest with you. I think when he hangs it up, he should look at an analyst role because I just think he'd be funny. He's entertaining.
I think he's really polished and professional, and like I
That
could see
too.
it. I could see him like doing play by play or breaking down the game or being a sideline reporter. But if I want a soundbite, I already know who I'm gonna pick. Like straight up, like I'm giving telling Jalen Duren, go get me a soundbite. Like
Yeah.
go get me something funny because I know he's probably just gonna ask like a super personal question and just like get like
Something ridiculous. And he just isn't afraid to ask it.
you don't
Yeah.
care.
Seriously. But I think I'll stick with Duncan though as far as you're looking for someone polished and professional to be able to go on there and like actually do the job.
Yeah, I mean that was my pick too when I saw the question. I was like, probably Duncan. He does a lot of
Mhm.
Old Man in the Three podcast with Tommy Alter. So I was just like,
Yep,
probably Duncan. He's really I feel like he's like gearing himself up to like kind of get into media. Just just the way he talks. But
for sure.
yeah. So William on Facebook as well. Would you ever want to do play by play if you got the opportunity?
Ooh. You know what's funny is so when I was at Michigan State, I worked
Hmm.
for a radio station there, our student sports radio station, Impact FM. And I worked for the women's basketball team my junior year and then covered the men's basketball team my senior year. And I dabbled a little, not in play by play, but with color, funny
Hmm.
enough. So I've never even tried play by play. Would I want to? I don't know. You know what? I'm all about taking chances and trying something out, and if I really took the time to prep for it, um, that could be fun. A lot of pressure though. I am no George Blaha around here, but you know what? I'd put my own little spin on it. That could be I think that could be fun. I just don't know when that opportunity would would ever come, but maybe if for college, college hoops or who knows, but maybe could be in my future.
Maybe
Never say
George,
never.
maybe George doesn't make the trip, and Johnny's like, "Yeah, I got a sore throat. Like, just go on in there with Greg."
That's the thing. I remember when Lauren Jabara was with the Hawks
Hmm.
and their play-by-play guy went down with God, right before they went on the air. It was while they were on the air in pregame. I guess I won't speculate here, but I want to say he had some sort of just episode where he had passed out or he was really
Yeah, I remember
dizzy or
that.
something. And she filled in at play by play with, Dominique Wilkins. And it
Mhm.
was, I mean, they went and did the broadcast together. And I thought, man, that's badass right there. Like, if I had to do that, I'd figure it out, right? She didn't have
Yeah.
any time to prep. She had like 30 minutes or something before to get everything together. But, yeah, just in a moment like that, I might have to just put my big girl pants on and just do it.
Yeah, former Detroit Pistons sideline reporter.
Yeah.
I remember her for a little bit. That was when I'm trying to think who was the coach. I believe it was Stan Van Gundy when she did sideline for a couple of years, went to the Hawks, and then saw that she does NBA TV. Funny enough, I almost worked for her brother, who owns
Really?
the Grand Rapids Gold. Yeah, a buddy of mine,
I think that's
Joey.
actually her cousin.
Oh, that's her cousin. I thought it was her
Same
brother.
last name, but yep, it's her
Yeah,
cousin.
or her cousin. Buddy of mine, Joey, he's like best friends with them. He's like, yo, he's like, you want to work for like their G League team? I was like, yeah, I'll hear him out at least. But it's just like kind of like full circle moment when you just like work with media and just like get to know all these people. But I do remember that game because I believe the announcer passed out or he had dehydration or something like that. And
Yep.
like it went viral because it's like the first time, I believe it was like the first time a woman got to like do play by play just like on the spot like that, which was like honestly
Yeah,
really cool.
for sure. So kudos to her for being able to step in and get it done. Someone had to do it. So who knows what'll happen.
Yeah, who knows? Who knows? So Alex on Instagram wants to know what's the biggest thing you've learned with working with Greg and George?
Well, the knowledge that they have of the game, I learn something from them every single day. I really do. I love being able to, so during the game, I have earpieces in my ears when I'm sitting at
Mhm.
my table, taking my notes, and I got my stat monitor here and all of that. But I'm always writing down little things that, especially Greg, just as the analyst and what he sees out there and what's happening. I get to learn just a lot of little things from each of them. And helps teach me more about the game. I mean, I didn't grow up playing basketball. In the wintertime, I was a skier. So that's what my winter sport was downhill ski racing, which is a lot of people are like, "What? My high school didn't have that." But
Nope.
where I grew up, we did have a ski team, and it was, we were a pretty good one too, which was fun. So that was my big sport. Um, I was a three-sport athlete, but that was my winter one. So I never got to play basketball. So, for me, it was just growing up. Of course, I watched the Pistons because I grew up in Metro Detroit, and I've always been a basketball fan. But there's just, when you don't play the game, there's a lot to learn and a lot, for me, I try to be a student of the game, and I'm hungry for it. I'm trying to learn every little thing that I can, and I watch a lot of games in my free time. I have books that I've read. But back to the point about George and Greg, they do so much research and prep for each game, even at their age still, for how many years they've been in it. And just to see their prep sheets. And I'll throw in Mark Champion as well, Pistons
Mhm.
radio play-by-play announcer. He's fantastic. He preps like crazy for games. I see he's taking notes like days before. Like we'll be getting ready for one game and he's already like, "Oh yeah, and I already started my prep for the next," even though we haven't even played the game before. So all of these guys, for how many years they've been in the business, it's remarkable to me to see like the work that goes in to their prep. So I feel like that's what I've learned is just take your craft seriously, because that's how those guys have been in it for so long.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like, you can kinda like, you even, like, Greg from time to time is like, "Yeah, at our conference call before the game," and I was just like, "Conference call before the game? These guys are locked in."
Yep, we used to do that. This is the first year we actually didn't do those conference calls anymore, but we always did them in the past, and we'd meet for like a half hour. It'd be our whole Fanduel crew, plus the behind the scenes guys like our graphics coordinator and our replay
Mhm.
operator and producer, assistant producer, pregame producer, everybody, and we'd all collaborate and share ideas. We still do that kind of same thing now, but we just don't do those huge elaborate calls. Like we'll all just kind of send a text in the morning or like give us a little shoot around update. But still, like it's very much a team effort, all of us to be on the same page of like what we want to talk about in each segment and that kind of thing. So there's a lot that
A
goes
lot
into it.
a lot of behind the scenes stuff that I like, it honestly actually be kinda cool just to kind of, like, see behind the scenes stuff of, like, what it would take for a game day, like, prep, shoots that you're gonna do before the game, because I don't honestly think, like, the average fan understands, like, how much work it takes just for, like, maybe a pregame show. Like,
Oh my gosh, yeah.
it's a lot of research. You gotta read ad reads. It's like you're right in front of a camera. You gotta make sure, like, you're getting everything right, pronouncing the players' last names right, like, all that stuff and staying focused.
Yeah, and there is no teleprompter for people
No.
that think there is either. We are not. That's why for at least pregame and postgame, you type out a script, but you're not reading off of it word for word. Certain things, yes, like the ad reads, you have to get those right. And if there's a segment you really with a lot of stats that you want to make sure you got, like, you look down and have that. But yeah, there is no teleprompter or anything. Um, it's all up here and just the prep all day trying to write that out, your show, how you want it to go. And you're working with the producer to figure out the topics and have a special guest here in this segment or whatnot. Trying to just make it, fun and entertaining and give you guys the best insight we can to preview the matchup that night. So yeah, it's just a lot, but it's cool. You've now sparked an idea for me, though, at least next season, to maybe have one of our camera guys follow like our crew around to show you what it's
Mhm.
like to put together something, whatever it is, even just pregame or the entire day, whatever. I like that. I'm gonna
Kinda
remember
like
that.
a day in a life, or just
Yeah.
you see a lot of reporters do it, honestly. I actually saw one of our, podcast host who's a sideline reporter for ESPN. She does it all the time of like, come with me to work. Like we're doing prep, shoot around, we're in the media room getting quotes, like just I kind of think like the behind the scenes thing. Like I think a lot of fans would actually appreciate kind of like the craft and like how much you guys work and like how like it's just not like it's on TV for 3 hours type of thing. Like it's a good to 6 to 8 hour job sometimes longer.
Oh yeah, like usually you're getting up at like 7. You're going to shoot around in the morning. You're doing prep before then you come back, you do more prep for a lot of the day. And then, yeah, you're getting to the arena early, getting quotes from coach, then from players, then getting ready for pregame. You got to host that all by yourself. Then got the game, then hosting halftime by yourself for the most part. And then postgame, same thing, while also reporting on top of it. So yeah, I was pulling double duty a lot this year, which was different, not having a home studio to do all of the pre and post hosting. That was a different change for us.
Yeah, it was your first year and like being like a first chair reporter, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yes, it was. Yeah, Johnny mainly being just a host. Yeah, I reported every home game and then did a lot of road games too, where George took time off and Johnny filled in a play-by-play. And, this was the first year I got a ton of experience because in years past, I used to just drop in here and they're like, hey, Natalie, you'll do these 3 games at the end of this month. And it's like, okay, well, I haven't worked in like 3 weeks. This is kind of crazy that I'm just now dropping in. So it was harder, I think, to follow along with the team and just all the little storylines. It's so much easier when you're around the game every single day. So this has been the most fun year for me by far, not just because of how well the team did, but because I really got to be a part of it. And I'm really grateful. So
Yeah, it's definitely a grind. Like I remember doing post game podcast, West Coast trip. We're doing them like at 3, 4 a.m.
Ooh, yeah. Trying to stay up for those. That's a doozy.
Yeah, 3 cups of coffee or 3 pots of coffee. I think it
Oh
was.
my God.
Yeah,
How did you go to sleep that night?
I cheat. I will take melatonin and then I'll take a hemp gummy bear and then I'm out in like 10 minutes.
There you go. Hey, we got your secrets exposed now.
Oh, people already know. They're like, when I'm like spazzing out, they're like, just take one of your hemp gummy bears. You're spazzing out right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's hilarious.
We have 3 non-basketball questions.
Okay.
I'll start with Tyler's question first. He says, do you have a top 10 outfits you wore this season?
Top 10 outfits?
Yeah.
I got to give a top 10. Oh boy.
I did like top 3. I don't know why you wanted the top 10.
Yeah, I might be able to narrow down 3 for you. I can't always remember. Yeah, I tried to elevate the outfit game a little bit this year, guys. So yeah, that's always a part of it too, is like looking presentable on camera.
Yeah.
And because obviously I worked a lot more games, I'm like, well, need some more clothes. So let's see, what would be top 10 or not top 10, top 3. I'm like, yeah, I can't name that. Let's see. There was a black dress I had on with gold buttons. My friend did my hair that game. Anytime my friend does my hair, I always feel like I'm just like have leveled up a little bit, a notch. Trying to think. You know what? Let me just go on the Instagram. I think that'll be easier to find which outfits I'm talking about. All right, hold that thought.
For sure.
Hold that thought. Let's see. I liked where'd it go? Oh, this outfit, if I can zoom out a little bit. Okay, it was a black dress with gold buttons.
Yeah.
I liked that one. Okay. I liked a lot of people complimented this one the other day in my end of season dump, the pink dress.
Yeah, I remember that game.
Okay, let's see. I like that one. And then where else are we going? You know what? I thought my first one, and this was good too. I liked, where was this at? Oh, when we played the Magic. I had this long green dress on. I thought the green was a good look too. So it's hard to narrow it down.
Yeah, top 10's kind of crazy, Tyler.
A little bit. Like, I'm trying to think if there's any more that I appreciated. I think the fit in San Antonio was good too. We had like a light green dress on. Hard to see. Anyway, but
yeah.
So it's good. So just going through the gram, I think makes it a little bit easier for me because I can't remember, but
Yeah,
yeah.
Tyler. I don't think she's gonna
Unless
make it.
does Tyler have a favorite?
I don't know. He has been DMing me for about a year. Get Natalie on. Get Natalie on. Get Natalie on. I was like, I said, I'll see what I can do, Tyler.
He's like, I will try my best. Please, please stop. No, that's those. We'll keep it at those few. There's a few others. Oh, I liked this one too that I had with Stu. It was like a red top, black
Mhm.
skirt. All right, I'll leave it there.
Yeah, I don't know if she's gonna make a graphic, like a top 10 graphic, but
Oh
like,
God, Tyler, if you want to go ahead and do that, by all means. Would love to see what the fans' top 10 of my outfits are.
yeah, I mean, you got to tie a little bit of fashion into the basketball
Have to, have to. Okay, I like that question.
for sure. Okay, so Voss, which I'm probably butchering your name. Sorry. He wants to know what your nationality or heritage is.
Okay, this is a great question because I've been wanting to do one of those ancestry tests or 23andMe to find out
Mhm.
exactly what I am. So, what I do know from my parents is that I am German, Polish, and Irish. I'm a mix of those three, but I've gotten asked if I'm Greek, Italian, what else? Armenian. I've gotten a lot of different answers out there, but no, German, Polish, Irish are the three that I know of.
Yeah, I would have guessed something
Yeah,
European.
what would you have guessed?
I would have guessed maybe something Middle Eastern.
Okay.
Maybe it's because of the hair, because it's darker. But what's just kind of funny, like when I was going to tag you on Facebook, one of your old, like before you took the Fanduel job, I think you had like highlights in your hair, and I was like, who the hell is that?
Yep.
I was
Yep.
like,
We did have some blonde in the hair.
I was like, is that Natalie? I was like, oh, that's her old like news station Facebook page. I was like,
Oh yeah.
I was like, that's not Natalie. I was just
We
like,
were
oh,
rocking the blonde just a few years ago, guys. Crazy, but this
yeah.
is more my natural hair is
Yeah, I would have
100.
I probably would have guessed like Arab or Italian or something European. I would not have guessed that though.
Yeah, that's fine. Well, I'll let you know next time I take that test. Next time I'm on the podcast, I'll let you know what the results are because I'm curious. I'm like, there's got to be something else because I
Yeah.
tan really easily and I have the darker hair. My whole family were very, we got the olive skin tone and
Hmm.
everyone's brunette and dark eyes as well. So I guess I kind
Yeah.
of have like hazel eyes, but kind of hard. No,
Yeah.
very nice,
Yeah,
but
it's yeah, I mean that those are a lot of like characteristics of like, either Italians or Arabic people, or you might have a little bit in there, you never know.
who knows? And I talk with my hands a lot, so
You might be
and
Italian.
that's usually I might be Italian, guys. I don't know.
I don't know, your temper's not that bad, so probably not.
Yeah, are you? What are you?
I am Italian, Lebanese, French Canadian, and Irish.
Whoa, what a mix.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, my grandmother was in Canada. I didn't get to meet her, but she was born in Canada, lived in Timmins in the mountains. My
Wow.
grandfather was Lebanese and Italian because his mom actually met my grandfather in New York on a boat, and then they were like inseparable. So
Wow.
it's kind of crazy. Yeah, yeah. So I got both Italians. I got northern and southern. So it's kind of
Okay.
weird. Yeah, but I get really dark. I get like do not fly list, like check them at the airport type of dark in the summer.
Really?
I get about probably 10 shades of like dark brown.
Dang. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
It's like I don't really get to go outside that much in the summer, but I think this summer I'm gonna be outside a little bit more because it's just like, screw it.
Yeah. Wow. Dang. That's hilarious. I mean, I feel like in the winter I get a little bit pale. Like makeup obviously helps, but yeah, once summer hits, we're talking peak July, I feel like I get pretty dark too.
Yeah, I
So,
remember I went to Florida on vacation, and I came back in high school, and like everyone's like, "Who's that?" Because
really? Like you're unrecognizable at that point?
I was so dark. Yeah, and they're like,
Wow.
they didn't even know who I was. It's like, who's the new kid? It's just like, damn.
That's crazy. They don't even know who you are. Well, I guess that is
Mm,
kind of like my old Facebook photo. Don't know
yeah,
who that is.
No, I did. I was like, is that? I can't tell because I'm just used to dark hair. I was like,
I
okay.
know. Like you can kind of once you really like look at the face, you're like, ah, okay, yeah, that's Nat.
Yeah, yeah. I was just like, oh, okay, gotcha, gotcha. One more question. This is a completely random question. From KWLE, that's some username on Instagram. I'm sorry, I butchered it. Your favorite animal?
My favorite animal, I like penguins. I always just enjoy that exhibit at the zoo. And the Detroit Zoo is always cute because they have that huge exhibit right at the front. So I always have just enjoyed penguins. I know that's random. I don't really have any other reason besides that. But I'm a big dog lover. So if we're talking about pets, love dogs. I'm a dog person over a cat person. Sorry for the cat people out there.
I like both. I just love animals in general. I mean, like I had a turtle
Yeah.
when I was a little boy. I had cats. I like OP dogs. Like I don't want to own one, but I love other people's dogs.
Yeah.
Like hey, we can go for a walk. We can play in
Oh,
the
you don't want to
backyard.
own one?
You know what? Probably not. Just because it's just like not that I would be a bad pet owner. It's just like my last animal, my cat, I probably spent way too much money on her. Like I would not let her eat like garbage food. Like I'm buying
Yeah.
like $40 a week for like her like wet food. I was just like, yeah. I already know like dog food is like insane.
Right. That's true. Speaking of pets, I just watched a friend's bunny over the weekend.
Mhm.
They're cute, but they can be a
Yeah,
little like, a
they
lit-
can bite.
I mean, well, yeah, I think they thought my finger was a carrot and it bit my finger. And I got pissed. I was like, we're not having this kind of weekend right now. No way. We're not doing this.
Yeah.
So I got mad because I always thought they'd be cute to have, but it's like you can't really do anything with them. They're in the cage. You can't walk them, play with them. I guess you kind of could if you tried to train it, which they have a little, but they gave it like a whole room to itself, which I'm like, that bunny is being treated like a queen.
Yeah.
Who knows? But yeah, big dog person. Dogs and penguins.
That's funny. Okay. Oh, actually one more.
Okay.
What's what's the last venue concert that you've been to?
Ooh, last one that I went to. I went to, let's see, was it Chris Brown last August in Detroit? That might have been it.
Yeah, that was my every
Yeah,
girl in Metro Detroit went to go see Chris Brown.
pretty much. And that was me and my girlfriends too. So yeah, I think that was the last concert I went to, which I'm overdue, which I am going to Bruno Mars in May, and I'm pumped.
I saw that from one of our sponsors at Game Time. They like, if you guys want to buy the tickets early, like let us know. If
Yeah.
not, like I was like, oh, okay, okay. I think the last venue I went to is I went to go see Gabriel Iglesias when he was here. Because
Oh,
I love going to see stand-up comedians because I just like to laugh. But I mean, my gut hurt for 2 days laughing so damn hard.
I love stand-up comedy. That is one of my favorite things to watch. Turn on Netflix, I will be watching the latest stand-up episode that comes out from whoever. The last one I watched was Marcelo Hernandez, who's on SNL all the time.
Mhm.
Yeah. So I saw saw that, and then who else? Trying to think. My favorite stand-up show I've ever been to in person was Sebastian Maniscalco. That man
He's funny.
is the funniest person. All his little mannerisms, the way he walks around on stage. Oh my gosh, I went with my family. My belly also hurt for like a week straight after. He's so good. So I enjoy listening to him too.
And now my uncle, like because my mom and my uncle used to go over to Canada to go watch the stand-up comics.
Oh,
And
nice.
he got roasted by Tim Allen when he was like in his 20s.
What did he do? What did
He
he
was
or
he was just making fun of him, making fun of his outfit, like before Tim Allen like got famous. He was like, oh yeah, I remember that guy made fun of me for the whole night.
That's why you can't sit first row or the first couple. They're gonna find you and they're gonna
Yeah,
give you
yeah.
give a reason to talk about you during their bit.
I know.
So,
I know. I think next one I want to go see Matt Rife. He looks hilarious.
oh, that's a good one too. Um, yeah, he's good. I've seen Bill Burr. He was
Yeah.
awesome. I've seen Joe Rogan. who isn't as much of a, I feel like he used to do a lot more touring, but now he's,
Mhm.
you know, obviously his podcast is huge, and but he was really funny too. Who else have I seen? That might be it. Yeah, that might be it as far as in person, but yeah, there's some good ones out there. I got some more I want to see though.
Same here, same here. But I appreciate you coming on, making the time today. It was so much fun talking about the playoffs, talking about this year, behind the scenes stuff. Favorite animal? Like
Favorite animal. That was the best way to end this. Come on now.
for sure. For sure. I do have all your social media links down below in the
Yep.
description. So we got your TikTok, we got your Twitter, Instagram. So if you guys want to follow Natalie, definitely can. But you want to plug and promote where people can find you and stay locked in with you this summer and spring.
Absolutely. Yeah. So not doing, Pistons during the playoffs, obviously, no coverage there, but I still want to be at the home playoff games, just as a fan, but I want to try and do some digital stuff on my social media. So make sure to continue following on, TikTok, Instagram, on X or Twitter. And yeah, this summer I'm just going to be doing I do a Lions podcast on the side. So I do that, not with Believe, but I do it with
No,
Locked On
it's
Podcast
all good.
Network.
It's all
Yeah.
good, man. You can
So I
plug
do
it.
it with another, yep, I do it with another network. So that's called the Locked On Lions Squad Show, and we do that twice a week. So you can follow me, follow along on there, as the Lions begin to, start camps here coming up in May. NFL draft coming at the end of this month. And then just trying to do some digital stuff on the side, during my off season. I don't do anything with the Tigers really much anymore. Maybe filling in once in a great while, but yeah, just more so doing stuff on the side, just some little side jobs. So just stick with me on my social media. I'm most active on Twitter and Instagram, and I'll post some updates from the playoffs on there. And yeah, listen to me on podcasts wherever you get them, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube,
We're
all that.
everywhere.
Yeah, everywhere, seriously. So yeah, so that's what I'm up to really this off season.
Well, again, we have all your social medias in the description below. So if you guys want to follow her, just click on the link and you can stay locked in with Natalie all off season. But I appreciate you again making the time and coming on.
Of course. Thanks for having me. This was a blast, seriously. So I'm just rooting for these Pistons, man. Hopefully we're seeing them all the way through June.
Yeah, you never know. Never know. I mean, Michigan won the national championship.
Listen, I'm not ready to talk about that. All right. Coming from a Sparty right now. Too soon. Too soon. No.
I got paid to say that.
I'm sure you did. And whoever is paying you for it, I'm mad at you. No, it's all good. Happy for a team from our state to claim the title, but I just need my Spartan dogs to get back to that spot. We need to give Tom another ring before he hangs it up.
Yeah, I mean, he might
Can't believe he only has one.
Might go to the NBA the way he's talking.
I know. I saw that. Who knows? Yeah. But anyway, not ending on a note about the Michigan Wolverines. Come on now. Okay. We had such a good show up to this point.
I was like, when do I mention it?
I'm glad you waited till the end.
I was like, I don't want to piss her off.
It's all good. All the Michigan people out there, I'm happy for you. I'm not one of those like total sore losers. It's just when you're an alum of the rival school, of course you got to feel a little some type of way. But
oh yeah, I get it. But we will see you guys. I think we're gonna do another podcast on Friday. Don't know who we're gonna bring on yet, but we'll see. Maybe we'll try to interview a Charlotte Hornets reporter or Charlotte Hornets podcast. You never know. But appreciate you guys tapping on in. Got 400 people at 1:00 in the afternoon. You guys are diehards. Love it. But
I love that.
We'll see you guys soon. Have a good what day? Is it Wednesday? Yeah, have a good week.
It's Wednesday.
Yeah. Take care, you guys. As always, go Pistons. Peace.